All right. Let's see. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Dave Wilson of Results Staff and Social Media. I have Melissa Bowman here, Bowman, right, at FoxHire Employee Services. I'll be right back after this message. We got a lot of great things to talk about, and we'll be right back. Wow.
That's awesome.
I love just listening to the music. It's intense, and all of a sudden it stops like that. How you doing, Melissa?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I don't think we've talked. Well, we were on Shark Week, and it's been a while.
It's July. It's been far too long, Dave. Where you been?
I know, and we just talked about some things that we're going to talk about after the show.
Yes.
Listen, everybody, I want to introduce Melissa from FoxHire, and you're in Canton, Ohio.
Yes.
And I want to let her discuss what FoxHire is about, and then I'm going to give my intake because I have utilized FoxHire, and it was actually one of my first companies that I utilized for my employee records. Mm-hmm. So, Melissa, why don't you introduce yourself to everybody?
My name is Melissa Bowman. I am an account manager for FoxHire. We are based in Canton, Ohio. We have been in business for decades. We used to be known as Top Echelon Contracting, so a lot of people may know that name. We were rebranded in 2019 as FoxHire. So very excited to be part of this team. We are an employer of record service. We work with recruiting firms, direct hire firms that have clients with contract needs by taking on the risks as the employer of record. We fund the payroll for the recruiters. We handle the COI, any claims, unemployment claims, taxes. We offer benefits to the candidates. We can place in all 50 states. We invoice the clients for them. So all they have to do is find those job orders, find the perfect candidate, set up the interview, and they will make money by placing those candidates through us.
That's why I'm smiling, because when I had Melissa hired on, I'm telling you, everybody, listen, I mean, I didn't even know what an EOR was. I really didn't. And when I reached out and I utilized them for a company in Bethlehem, I absolutely did nothing. I found Melissa, I found a couple people. And once Melissa was chosen, all she had to do, I didn't do anything. You did it all. Mm-hmm. So between, like you said, the hiring paperwork, I-9, E-Verify, background checks, payroll, and weekly processing. And then all I did is sit back and I got a check for the week after everything was done.
Yep, that's it.
And she was hired on after they did a conversion fee. That was nice, because what's nice about that is once you put that candidate in, 3 weeks into it, they wanted her. They didn't want her to leave. So they did a conversion fee. So they were smart, and by doing that, because let's face it, I mean, I didn't have to do anything, and Melissa got a brand new job.
That's the best part, is helping people find work, getting them into clients where they can make a difference. They can improve their lives. You don't have to worry about any of the onboarding or this, whether it's a 3-week temp to hire type of position like that, or it is a 3 to 6 month. I've got candidates that have been on our payroll for years. And then we have others that do 6-month projects. We take care of all of it. Doesn't matter,
No.
how long that position is, if it is going to be 6 weeks or longer, or if it's something shorter. You can talk to us and we can see what we might be able to do. On average, our time with candidates or on assignment is anywhere from 3 to 6, 12, 18 months. So
Yeah.
we're here to take care of the client, you as a recruiter, and the candidate. And that's why I love my job, because I get to take care of everyone and
It
focus
is.
my energy on helping you grow your business.
Well, I tell
So,
everybody the reason I liked the EOR is not only because the ease. I always tell everybody it can be a cost savings for the staffing company and the client, because when everybody says, I said, listen, I have everything that you have right behind you, but you just can't see them.
right.
Then even now with the video resume screening with Duck and Now and all that, that's all virtual.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going from, you don't have to do anything. I don't even have to, as long as I can talk to interview the person on Skype, anything, Messenger, it's a no-brainer.
Absolutely.
And like you said, I just talked to you prior. I love the portal that comes along with it. And if you can explain a little bit of that has everything.
It does. We have the best developers in the country as far as I'm concerned. The system is so streamlined. So you as a recruiter will have access to your quoting portal. You can run quotes. You can make your placements through the system. You can run prelims for your clients. You can run reports. You can see what you're expected to be paid off of what invoice that is generated to your clients. You can see how many contractors you have placed. You can see the hours they have worked. We have a discount program that if you have a specific number of candidates working a specific number of hours, we give you more money. So it's
Love it.
I mean, it's a no-brainer. So, the portal as well, your clients will have access to it. They can review their timesheets, approve the timesheets, review expense, reimbursements. Your candidates will access their portal. There they will do their onboarding. They will input their timesheets. It's a simple, very efficient process. So the more people that are introduced to it, the more opportunity we have to help recruiters across the country. And that's what we're here for. We're here to be that sole provider for you to handle all of those back office duties that you just don't have time to deal with as a recruiter.
And that's what I liked about with Melissa, was so easy. The only time I called her once in a while, how's your job going? And the only other time I would talk to her is like she forgot to submit her timesheet. It was just easy. It was on a Sunday. She was all panicking. I was like, no, it's not a problem.
Right.
So we sent the hours in. What I like about that is you said the great thing there is, okay, for workers' comp, we were just talking prior. So I put a workers' comp code in. I wanted to see what I made. But now you had told me the states are all different. We know that. So I could be putting in a wrong code.
Right.
Versus, because every single state's different, right? Yep. For warehousing, logistics, direct hires.
Yes. So on our tool, you have the option to hit a browse codes button. If you're not certain what code that would fall under, or if you're in Pennsylvania like yourself, but you're placing in California, codes are probably different, maybe different. I don't know. I think Washington is one of those states, and Delaware. So you can type in a code. If it's a different type of code, the system is already written with the algorithm to change the code to that state follows that code. So if it's an 8810, it may change it to a 779 possibly. I don't know.
Right.
But you can click the browse codes button, type in a keyword for the job that you're looking to place, and the system will tell you what code that may fall under. If it's not there, it just means it hasn't been built, and you can reach out to me with that job description. I'll confirm the code, and if it's a code that we are able to place under, I'll let you know what that is.
That's it. And then the big thing is, what does it cost?
It costs nothing to be part of the FoxHire family.
So I knew I had to say that. Sorry. So listen, everybody, it's free. It doesn't cost you, only when you utilize.
Yes.
I think that's a big selling point, because a lot of companies don't want to commit now.
Right.
With everything going on, it's hard to commit for so much monthly, yearly, annual, whatever. But when it's free, I'm sorry, it's, what do you have to lose?
Exactly. You don't have anything to lose. You've got
No,
this great portal that you can run numbers in, you can play around in, you can navigate through. You've got a team that you can reach out to at any point in time. And then you got me.
that's
I am there for anything and everything that you may have questions about. So, there's no cost to you. The only time there is a very small admin fee is when
right.
you make placements.
When you make
And that is
placements.
to cover the background checks that we perform on every candidate, no matter what that position is.
I remember when I'm always going to go back to Melissa, but it was nice because you told the candidate where to go for a drug screen.
Mhm.
It was just, I was like, that's it. You're done.
Yeah.
I mean,
Easy peasy.
it was easy. And that's what I like. But I did want to ask you, you had mentioned that I didn't realize direct hires.
Mhm.
FoxHire can actually assist with the direct hires?
We
Or
cannot assist with direct hires through you as a recruiter. So if your client does reach out to you and say, "Hey, I've got this CFO I need your assistance with," you can recruit them and then charge your client a conversion fee.
right.
If your client or a client, let's say, reaches out and says, "Hey, I saw you online, saw your podcast. I don't have a recruiting firm that I work with. Can you help me with any of my direct hires by offering payroll?" Yes, we can.
Okay.
So we don't take business from you as a recruiter, but if a direct client reaches out to us, we are able to assist them.
That's awesome. And you also, it's marketing. You actually have marketing tools, everything, training. You offer training also.
Yes. We offer training. So any new recruiters that sign up, you can schedule a meeting. We'll have a demonstration call when a placement is ready to be made. I, as well as I'm sure the rest of my sales team, will be willing to jump on a call with you and help answer those questions, because there are questions that you don't know to ask
Right.
once you go through that demonstration call. So we're there to do that. We provide tools, articles, different blog articles that you can refer to, and you can reach out at any point in time with questions as they arise after speaking with your clients and or candidates.
So what I liked also is you get assigned, like I know you're in Ohio, but you have companies throughout the states yourself, or are you assigned only within the East Coast? Or
the sales team is broken up by territories. So I had a particular territory, but once I was moved into this new position, I am handling candidates or clients all across the country. Whereas before I was, Florida, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, North Carolina. So someone else is now handling that territory. But it doesn't mean that I won't ever be an account manager for those areas. If those clients make placements over a specific amount of time, they may be moved over to me as an account manager.
And that's what I like when you said it. It's all 50 states.
It is all 50 states and Puerto Rico.
Oh, wow. So that's what I want everybody to, when you watch this video, you're listening, as a company as myself, it's a no-brainer. It's just especially if I found somebody, we were just talking about that. Say I found somebody in Texas. I've had a lot of responses from Texas, and I had to back up and say, whoa, wait a minute. Like we talked about, we can staff in Texas, because then if I find the person, you take care of all. There's no difference. There's no difference from here in the Lehigh Valley or in Texas.
No, as far as making those placements, no. The only difference would be what the burden is. So taxes may be higher in one city over another, or one state over another. And you'll see that in the transparent pricing in the quote tool on the system.
Oh yeah, I watch that. I try to put different numbers in. I'm like, oh, come on. Customer service, you can really do well in. You can do well in customer service, at a great, nice markup. And when you don't have to worry about it's just concentrating on finding the candidates, nothing else. And when I was in the staffing, prior company, I mean, you had all your recruiters. If you could take away, I swear, if you could take away all that administrative work from a recruiter in a branch, you would be so much more productive.
Oh my goodness, yes. How much time were you spending on back office, with onboarding, new hire paperwork, I-9 verification, benefits? I mean, so much time is needed for those back office specifics, but you as a recruiter don't need to do that when you can work with. That's what we're here for. I mean, that's what we specialize in. So why not take advantage of that? And to add to that, have you ever heard of the bullhorn system?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. We are the only EOR that has successfully integrated as an EOR within the bullhorn system.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So
That's
that
top
is
notch.
an added benefit. If you're paying for that system, let's have a conversation. Let's talk, because
Yeah,
that's
for
one more
everybody.
tool that you'll have. Right.
That is. And for people that know Bullhorn, they know. I mean,
Right.
that's for in the world of staffing.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to go over, which was great, that I noticed on LinkedIn, you were doing a 5-part series.
Yes.
You want to talk about that, and then we'll just go through it. I like some of the subjects here.
Sure. Yeah, I appreciate that. Well, I was on your show, or as a participant this past Tuesday with Matt Lozar.
Yep.
All right. He stated on his call the other day that one of the many pain points in the staffing industry is what is keeping you up at night as a recruiter. Adding to that is how can they support multiple candidates? This
Right.
is especially true for anyone that may be tinkering with the idea of adding contract staffing to their business model. So that's where we come in. A lot of recruiting firms shy away from utilizing contract staffing or adding that to their business model. So if I do speak with anyone that doesn't have contractors, don't like to place anyone in assignments for their clients, or their clients
Right.
just don't have a need, I always ask them, when was the last time you spoke with them about contract staffing? Because I guarantee you, even though you are placing direct hires with your clients, there may be a department that they need contract staffing in. So if you're not providing that service, they're going to
Right.
a competitor.
And that's why I noticed there was the reasons why for the contract hire. And I get it, because hiring freezes, like I look at it now, I think as a benefit with everything with COVID, even though it's coming to start, they're going to come back. There is companies that have small projects for all skill set. I mean,
Right.
high skill set that they like it, because I was reading on some of your articles and it makes sense. Reduce tax risks, evaluate a candidate skill prior to offering, a hiring freeze, a special project, and that's where FoxHire would come in just for that short amount of time.
Right. Absolutely.
And that's where I can see the benefit.
Absolutely. And that's what a lot of firms that are direct hire firms don't consider. If your clients know you as a direct hire firm, they're not going to automatically call you when there is a hiring freeze or a deadline on a project. They're going to call the recruiter down the street that does perform contract staffing. It's actually forecasted that more of the workforce will be contract employees in 2021, and it's expected to continually increase year over year for the next 6 years.
I can see that now. I mean, we were talking about, I get a lot of calls, and it depends. Some candidates really like short-term assignments, because I had one resume come through and I'll never forget it. And we always assume when we do an interview, well, this young lady, she had like 6 different jobs and they were staffing companies. So at first I looked at it and said, wow, 6 different jobs. It was almost like no. But then when I called her, she literally, and I was like, why? That was my fault, and I shouldn't assume like that. She's like, no, I love staffing companies. She says, because I can work when I want, and she loves the short-term assignments, and she can go wherever she wants. So there you have it. I should not have assumed, but that's what I like about here is if you have a person that just likes to move around, enjoy the flexibility now, because now with everything with the kids and everything like that, I'll never forget her for that reason. So I don't assume anymore.
Yeah, that's a great segue into part 2 of the 5-part series is that flexibility, the job satisfaction, the financial security. So, especially now with kids being at home, with homeschooling or your spouse working, you can have the opportunity to have a short-term assignment just to get out of the house, or, bring in a little extra income for the family. So it actually also enhances resumes. So too oftentimes employers are looking for that perfect candidate, and we all know there is no such thing. So contract opportunities allow candidates to add skill sets that they may not have gained elsewhere.
From there, because you put flexibility, job satisfaction, financial security, opportunity to travel. Like you said, some people like to do that. Enhance resume. That, when you talk about that, as hiring say is a big commitment, hire candidates, perfect skill set. What did you mean by enhanced resume? That's what I was.
Yep. So enhancing your resume. So let's use me as an example. If I would have never taken this opportunity, it was a direct hire role, but I'm using my role as an example. Right. If this were a contract opportunity, I had never done cold calling before. I had never really talked with a recruiter before. So if this were a contract opportunity, I can add cold calling, business to business. I can add recruiting, working with the recruiting industry, or, working in multitude of different platforms, so that is what I mean by enhancing job skills. If someone is a laborer and gets an opportunity to work on a line of some sort, or drive a forklift, trained and to drive a forklift in their position, that's enhancing their resume through this contract opportunity that you place them in.
All right, that makes sense, because I was thinking that I could see utilizing in your skill set on your resume. You could put it in as contract work still. Now that I see that in what you're saying, that is kind of like on the job training, kind of. It's right. Like, you're training in there. And I think I was just curious, enhanced resume.
Yeah.
All right. Then we have we're on 3.
Number 3. Yes.
Number 3.
So I don't want to learn a new process. That is number 3 of the reasons why direct hires don't want to, or direct hire firms don't want to add contract staffing. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You know, the process is essentially the same as a direct hire. You get the job order, you recruit the candidates, set up your interviews, negotiate the pay rate, bill rate, and then you make the placement with us. You're doing the same thing for direct hire. So make that placement with us. We handle all of the onboarding. We train them on the system, like we had mentioned, and then we're here to support them. So we'll pay you per hour worked for those assignments that you place with us, and you can keep doing what you do best, and that's recruit and find more job orders.
And that's what I also like when you said that, is even for my main thing was the invoice, aging, you took care of it all.
Yeah.
I mean, and the company in Bethlehem, they thought it was a great process. They didn't say anything. Like, it wasn't just like, they didn't even know the difference. And that's what a lot of people, I think right now with FoxHire, and like I said, the video resume screening is virtual. I believe it's going to stay for a long time right now. I mean, because the cost savings, I believe if I could make more placements, then I could have more income because of not doing all that.
Absolutely.
The ease of doing that part and not worrying about, all that aging, because you take care of it. You do the calls, because if you don't get the money, the revenue, that's why you get paid for doing that.
Yep. So if we don't get paid on the invoices, our wonderful accounting team, who is very focused on relating to the clients, collecting on the invoices, and getting our recruiters paid, she is on top of it. She will make phone calls. She will send emails. So we have great relationships with our clients, and have, made arrangements with them if they fell onto hard times to, maybe this is what we can look at. But, we usually don't have any issues for collecting from clients, because they see the value in the candidates that we've placed with them, and the value that we're providing, alleviating their risk and the recruiter's risk.
That's awesome. All right. Number 4.
Number 4. I don't have time to deal with hassles of contract staffing.
So, I wish I could that's enough for me. That's enough for me. I'm sold. That's it. Oh.
Well, my statement to that is, it won't be the case if you partner with FoxHire to handle all the hassles. There's no hassles for you to have to deal with. It would be a hassle if you have to do the new hire paperwork, the I-9, the E-Verify, background checks, timesheet collection, legal contracts with the contractor and the end client, payroll funding, state and federal tax withholdings, employee benefits, workers' compensation, unemployment insurance, client invoices, and collections. COI, registering states that you are not currently registered to work in. So if your client is based in Texas, you're in PA. If you are not registered in Texas, as results, you're going to have to register in Texas if you don't utilize us.
Right.
So all of that hassle is taken away by partnering with FoxHire.
Do you get, I know with FoxHire, do you get clients that mistake what FoxHire does and they call in? Have you ever had that? Do they call and say, hey, we need employees or candidates? Like,
yeah, we do. Sometimes they think that we're a recruiting firm and we're not, you know, so we do answer their questions and let them know that we're an EOR. Welcome the opportunity to build a relationship with them if they do find a recruiter, you know, and just, you know, put our name out there for a recruiting firm that they may work with. So I have so many recruiting firms right now that refer me and FoxHire to their network. So there are recruiters out there that have never heard of FoxHire as an EOR, and there are clients that have never heard of us either and think that we're a recruiting agency. So it goes both ways.
I only heard about it because I think I was talking one day on my phone, and you know how everything Alexa, oh, better not even say Alexa's right there. I swear the next day it comes up, you know, there it is, you know, EOR companies that we're talking about it now. I'll get an email of some other companies that are doing this, you know.
Yeah.
But all right, so I didn't have time to deal with the hassles. That's easy. Taken away. And part 5.
Offering contract staffing would distract me from my direct business. To put it simply, if clients know that you can handle their contracts needs as well as direct hire needs, more than likely they will turn to you as a sole source provider. So it's not really distracting the business for on the direct hire side of the desk. It could quite frankly provide further opportunity for you to place direct business with them.
That's what I like about it too. Like we're talking about is some of the companies believe this is all you do. You know, if you're putting temporary to perm, if you're doing all that, even in our others, when I was with a prior company, it was nice to say, hey, because if you could get one of those direct hires for your P&L, that would really excel you. And you wouldn't have to, I think you can utilize that for someone like myself as a tool to say, hey, we can do this, but I can also take some of that. And that's what I want is those direct hires. That's what I want. But if I have to staff a couple people just to get them, then that's where it's priceless. I mean, it's
a good opportunity to get your foot in the door with a client. You can make some direct placements with them, and we want you to. You know, I will be your cheerleader and celebrate with you when that happens. I have clients all the time calling me and saying, hey, I just made another direct hire, but they have this contract opportunity. Can you help me? So that's where, you know, it can help you gain some momentum within a client by being that sole source provider, you know, have that steady revenue income coming in on those contract placements while you are filling those direct roles.
That is awesome. Oh, wow. 30 minutes we went there. That was great.
I know. I felt like I talked a lot.
Yeah, 27. So yeah. But on closing, you know, I want to thank first of all for coming on the show. It's always great. And, you know, if everybody's watching and you don't even know what an EOR, I think it educates the customer plus the staffing agency, because anybody can utilize that. That's what's nice about it. So, you know, FoxHire. So one last question. So you're basically in Canton, Ohio, but you have people throughout the whole states, right?
Correct.
So West Coast, all that, everybody's out there. And they get assigned a person when they sign up.
Whenever a recruiter signs up, whatever state they're in, whoever that salesperson's territory is, that is who their contact will be for the demonstration call. Once they make those placements, then that candidate is in the system, and FoxHire will have, you know, the payroll department that is there to support them, the contract department if you know there's any questions about the employee contract, and I, as the sales executive before, always told my recruiters, if your candidates had any information or any questions, rather, they couldn't get a hold of payroll, feel free to call me and I can step in and reach out to payroll for them. So I'm always available.
That is awesome. And I did put your email. Is there, I'm going to put on the top thread when we go off the show, is there a number that they can reach you or specifically or the email?
They
you
can
know,
email me. Our number is 888-534-9417. My
okay.
extension is 503.
All right, I'll put that on after the show because I have your email there. So I want
Perfect.
to thank you so much for coming on, Melissa. And I know
I
we're going to talk for a
appreciate.
couple minutes
Yes.
right after. So everybody, FoxHire, if you're in the staffing industry, you got to check it out. You
Yeah.
have nothing to
It
lose.
takes
And believe me,
one phone call. One call could change your trajectory for the goals you're trying to meet this year.
yes, I love that direct hire part afterwards. That's the part I like. I was like, all right, now that was worth it. You know, that was worth getting that. So
Yep.
I want to thank you, and everybody have a great day. We'll be back later on tonight, and we're going to end it with this video. All right. Thank you so much, Melissa.
Thanks.
Yep.
Thanks, David.
Oh, I came back. We're back.
Hey.